My journey's crazy. That's why I said this. Yo, you can't write this, man. You cannot write this. My experience being gone and all the stuff that I went through preparing me for where I'm at today. You know, man, Tank is older. He had the lessons, getting his lessons of what he got to do to take us the rest of the way. And this is...
If you give us a second, we'll take you to the station. You want to use the bathroom, okay? We'll take it quick. Is that fair? Yeah. All right. Deal with this officer from your rear. All right. Damn, what?
Calvin Ford, Gervonta Davis's longtime trainer and father figure, just broke his silence on Tank's shocking arrest, and his words have left the entire boxing world stunned. For the first time since the verdict dropped, Calvin didn't sound like a coach defending his fighter. He sounded like a man watching someone he raised lose everything in real time. And the craziest part, Calvin says nobody really knows what was going on behind the scenes until now. Let's break it down. Gervonta Davis guilty.
Law, the right decision was made. It's just that it's a damn shame that he gets to lean on the letter of the law. And the state of Nevada and the parole committee had to lean on the letter of the law because he's somebody that I believe doesn't only deserve to be in jail, he deserved to be under the jail.
Not of losing in the ring, but of losing control outside of it. The court has ruled the headlines are everywhere and the fallout is already changing everything from his future fights to his $1 million endorsements. This is the same case that got his blockbuster fight with Jake Paul canceled. The same case that sent Netflix scrambling for a replacement, and the same case that could now threaten his license and career.
1 foot in, 1 foot out too. What are you talking about? You know how much money he got? You know how hard it is getting out that bed to go run early in the morning in gym for hours, and you know you looking at 20 million easy. You own all this real estate. You rich. You don't have to do this ever again. Then the compounding interest, like let's say 20 million in the bank. He get 5% off of that, so he probably making 500,000 in interest. He's not even spending his money. So it's like, hell yeah, he out of here. What? He gone.
And in the midst of all of this was Calvin Ford almost running out of words to say. Get this, Calvin wasn't just Tank's coach. He was his mentor, his father figure, the man who taught him discipline, loyalty, and the meaning of hard work.
I'll ask you that question on camera.
What?
I'm talking about family at this point. Because you pulled up with just somebody else. You didn't even pull up with your team you pulled up with. We ain't see Calvin. Yeah.
Calvin was there.
Okay.
Calvin was there.
Okay.
I think he came a little late though. I spoke to him.
Y'all good?
Yeah.
All right, because
I just seen Calvin too. But that's another thing. Calvin is someone that he's like, when I ain't had no pops, Calvin was the person that you feel me, stepped in them shoes. So no matter if he's not my coach, anything like that, he's always gonna be in my life.
And that's why I said I would have asked that question off camera because I already know.
Yeah,
so I ain't, but you already cleared it.
And now he's watching everything they built together start to crumble. In an emotional sit down the next day, Calvin Ford opened up about Tank's state of mind, and he didn't hold back. He went on to explain that the Gervonta Davis people see today, the millionaire, the celebrity, the knockout artist, is still fighting the same battles he was as a kid growing up in Baltimore's toughest neighborhoods.
Calvin, he been with me since I was 7. I used to sleep in Coach Calvin's house. I used to sleep at his job when he was working at a seafood restaurant in Baltimore.
When I had to train Tank, when I didn't want him to get in trouble and I wanted to make sure we was together, I used to take him to work with me. And he'd chill. Everybody know him. Everybody know him at work.
Remember, Calvin used to fuss at the guys that was coming up with me, and they was in the streets a lot. He was telling them, like, you can't have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You gotta be, like, all the way in it. Like, focus on the goal, you know, and them guys, they went left. And unfortunately, they got killed.
You weigh the odds out like that. Do you want him to go to jail or you want him to live? That's the whole idea, to come to the boxing gym
If I ain't had the people I had around me, like the people that started with me and things like that, I probably would have been off the scene for a long time.
People forget that Gervonta Davis and Calvin Ford have one of the deepest fighter-trainer bonds in boxing. Calvin wasn't just a coach. He was the man who found Tank when he was a troubled kid in West Baltimore and turned him into a world champion. He gave Tank structure, discipline, and a path out of the streets. But as Tank's fame grew, rumors started spreading that the two had fallen out.
Calvin is Calvin. You know what I mean? I got Calvin tatted on me. Calvin ain't going nowhere. Y'all don't even know Calvin for CCO. I know. You know what I mean?
That's what makes Calvin's reaction to this verdict even heavier, because he's not just speaking as a coach. He's speaking as a man who watched Tank grow up and is now watching him fall apart. But the truth is, sympathy doesn't change the verdict. And what's wrong is wrong. Remember, this all started when Jake Paul...
At DC, they call me Mo. Calvin is Calvin. You know what I mean? I got Calvin tatted on me. Calvin ain't going nowhere. Y'all don't even know Calvin for CCO. I know Calvin, you know what I mean? Y'all don't know? Calvin is Pops. He ain't going nowhere. I got that nigga tatted on me. This shit life. Loyalty over everything. Just, you know?
One of boxing's biggest attention magnets agreed to fight Tank in a Netflix headliner. It was supposed to be the event of the year. Power versus personality, streeter versus social media. The contract was signed.
Fight. It's a fight. People going to make mistakes.
Vegas is going to be on fire.
Do you know when you make a mistake? What happens when you make a mistake? You know, do the guy see when you make a mistake? You know what I'm saying? Like again, both of them undefeated. Both of them got that so-called power. You know what I'm saying? You know, I know what Youngin gonna bring. Right now, the thing is, it's manifesting in it. You know,
very, very
that's all. To me, you know, he's working good. I'm trying to make sure his body good, because I said they say we want to endure all the punishment in the ring. You know what I'm saying? My whole thing, I'm trying to put on a show for the others to come. You know what I'm saying?
Look,
it's just the door open for these type of fights. You know what I'm saying? Because we see the vision of where we're trying to go at. You know what I'm saying? Gervonta always said, man, coach, time is now. You know, we ain't second guessing ourselves because we hosted here. We're going to stay here. You know what I'm saying? The only way
Press tours were planned, and then the lawsuit hit. Within days, Paul's team pulled the plug. Not even Jake Paul wants to walk in the ring to fight some facing multiple charges. Nobody wants to risk their legacy. The courtroom may have decided Gervonta Davis's fate, but in the eyes of boxing fans, the final verdict hasn't been written yet. Because if there's one thing we've learned from this sport, it's that legends are born from comebacks. Will Tank Davis ever fight again? Will Calvin Ford be the man to rebuild him one last time? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Fightfield. I'll catch you in the next video.